Alrighty. Welcome back, everybody. It is October 27th. Happy Spooker time. Spooktober. Spooktember. No, it's not Spooktember. That's last month. It's October. It's almost Halloween. I'm excited. Haslin, hello. Welcome to the stream. It is the free draw today. We're doing viewer suggestion. I'm going to start off today drawing a rugby, and then we're going to get some suggestions from the viewers, and we're going to draw some stuff. Mic is too low. How's that? Is that better? Is that better now that I'm facing the right way? I hope that works out. But yeah, that was our plan for the day. To do some doodles, draw some rugbies, get some stuff done. It's a little earlier than normal, only a little bit. But we do need to. I'm gonna have to take off today at about 11:30. So we've got about 2 hours here. So perfect. Okay. Moved the mic and now I can't see anything. There we go. That's better. Whoop. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna start off today with the rugby, but there is a link in the Discord if people would like to draw with me today. If not, you're very welcome to just suggest a character and hang out. That's all we got going on. I am excited today. Because I haven't gotten to draw with anybody in a little while. I've been pretty busy, which is good. It's a good thing, though. But it's always fun when we get to draw with the Discord. Oh, I'm not in the voice channel chat. That could be very confusing. That might help. There we go. I'm in the Discord. Running over Raptor. How are you doing today? Howdy. Get this rugby doodled up. Oh, someone's joining us today. That's exciting. Who do we got with us? Hypachio. All right. Welcome. All the Patreon rewards went out a little earlier this week, so if you are a Patreon member, watch out for those. Watch your mailbox. They're pretty big because I haven't sent anything out in 2 months or so. A little longer than normal. Dr. Random, welcome. How are you today? I see Inferno in the general chat, but he's not in the voice channel chat, so we'll see if he jumps over here. If not, that's all right. Uh-oh, I've drawn a not derp rugby. Things are about to get real. I feel like we do need to do another Halloween-themed rugby. Since it is almost Halloween, and we probably won't have another episode before Halloween. I might get another one on Friday. We'll see. Mr. Lars is coming into town, so we might be able to get one more episode in before Halloween. What should Rugby's costume be? Slime Ranger. All right, you know what? We're gonna make Rugby a Slime Ranger. How's that? Maybe you've been holding on to that one for a while, I think. I've made him look like a dong. That's not good. Rugby with a slime on his head. That's pretty good. That's pretty funny, actually. That's his costume. He's just stuck a gelatinous. We already did that one, but it's still funny. Sticks a gelatinous cube on his head. Look at my Halloween pumpkin. Little candy bucket. How's it goes it, everybody? It's going pretty good. Conquest, Paladin, Kobold with a crown. Scribe. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a wizard. Okay. Wizard. Okay, that's 4. I can probably do one more, and then and then we'll see how far I get, because today I might have to call it short today. Sometimes we go way over time, and that's okay, but today I cannot do that. So we will have to see where we get to. There we go. There we go. Hello, hello. How are you today? Sounds about right. It is, in fact, another day. All Hallows Turkey Day. I have no idea what you're talking about. Was that something I was saying? I don't know what that is. Mashed potatoes and candy corn? Nope, I do not know what that is. Thankoween? Is that what we're celebrating Thankoween this year? That doesn't sound right. Tiffany, welcome, welcome. Once again, for everyone who jumped in, it is the community day. I think that's what we're going to start calling it. It's just the Discord and draw, but today is the community day. So if you'd like to draw with us, you're very welcome to. There's a link in the Discord. Otherwise, you can suggest a character, and we will see if we have some time to doodle. I got one more slot for sure, and then we might add a few more. But there's our little rugby for the day. Our rugby with a slime hat. As soon as candy comes out, rugby is just super focused. All right. Sugar? Yeah, just nonstop. He's using action search again? Well, no, he just ate some Rolos, and now he's good to go. I cast Monster Energy. Ah! All right. So the first one suggestion we have, which was Corvus's, because Corvus likes breaking the rules, and he suggested it before the video or the episode started. So we're gonna do the Hobgoblin Monk, and then Dr. Random just added a female Goliath. Bri, welcome, welcome. Female Goliath. Druid. With a trident, eh? People are adding weapons. I'm suspicious, but we'll do it. We'll do it today. Today and today only, we'll add some weapons. Let's get this going. Let's get this Hobgoblin Monk in here. Witches are going pretty good. I think I have 1, 2, 4 more witches. And then a little later today in the Discord, the Soul Witches Discord, I'll be doing a community stream draw for them to draw a Halloween witch. So that'll be fun. And then I have to do like 1 or 2 more promo witches, and I think I'm done with that project, which would be awesome. Except I have to draw the dragons. Okay, no, there's more. There's more to that project. There's always more. Always more to draw with that one. But no, it's going really well. It's going really well. I'm having fun with it, which is good. I don't know what I've done here. Hobgoblin Monk. Tonfa Monk, huh? No trident is fine. We'll see. We'll see if I might have time for the trident. Just gotta spray paint some body lines in here. Tonfas are pretty great. They were my go-to weapon in Neo. Oh, Soul Calibur too. Yeah, I actually didn't think about that. It just makes such a satisfying, like, wood clonking noise. Yeah, that's the big bonus of the tonfa in a lot of video games is they let you basically give you like a mini shield. You can block forever because your arm's made out of wood. All the twirly bits of a nunchuck without none of like whacking yourself in the nuts. It's the best part. You can still clock yourself in the face with the tonfa, but quite easily, actually. It's harder, though. It's harder than the nunchucks. Brah! Thank you for the $20. I appreciate the channel support. As someone who has whacked themselves in the face with nunchucks and tonfas, it's much harder to do such with the tonfas. Really, you're gonna like conk yourself on the top of the head. Whereas the nunchucks can kind of go like this, or like this, or like this, or you know, yeah. No, nunchucks are silly. Nunchucks are silly, but they look real cool. Nice. I like the Commander Revelation. I think that was pretty good. They're surprisingly tricky to use. I wish I could draw with you guys, but Pathfinder's calling. Have a fun week, everybody. No problem, Warbeard. Have a good day. Enjoy your Pathfinder game. Hello, afternoon, everybody. Welcome, Jack. How are you today? Yeah, that's fair. What was the other one I watched? They also made a He-Man, like a new cartoon, like kids cartoon, and I watched it. It wasn't bad. It's definitely a remake, and that's I think kind of the important thing. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. It is not the He-Man I remember, but it's also like I would totally be fine with my kids watching that version of He-Man. It's great. Well, I remember watching He-Man as a kid. It's just like it's terrible. It's just like old Transformers, which maybe that's a hot take and people are gonna be mad at me, but like it's really hard to watch the old Transformers cartoon. Like it's bad. It's just hard to watch. Yeah. Yeah, the D&D Rangers are definitely different than the Pathfinder ones. Yeah. 3.5 and 4th edition weren't bad, but they were a lot more like pet specialized, I feel. It was like, you might as well just play a druid, because the druids get spells. But I also think they kind of still haven't done enough with the bow to make it super interesting. And I honestly wonder if that is partially because of the complexities of ranged combat.
like Pathfinder, yeah, Pathfinder has a really complicated system for cover and like shooting into combat and darkness, and it's not always fun, but it's like it, but it makes sense. Like there's just a lot to it, and so I feel like for simplicity's sake, they just kind of like they never dealt with any of that stuff in D&D, and it made the bow feel really underwhelming. That being said, like the bows are really powerful. They're just not super heavy hitting, especially like with the rogue subclasses. Which once again, I feel like the ranger should have a lot of that stuff. So who knows? Who knows? Yeah. I'm gonna give this Hobgoblin anime hair. The warehouse? What? Oh. Pathfinder game is rumored to be involving were creatures, probably because of me. So I think this is supposed to be haunting. Maybe halfway through joining them. That's funny. That's funny. Does that mean you're going to be a were ranger? Is that what's going to happen? They always had a moral at the end, which was nice. Yeah. Yeah, for the He-Man things. G.I. Joe. I always remember the stupid little PSAs at the end of the G.I. Joes. Or Captain Planet. Oh my gosh. Captain Planet's PSAs. That show is just weird. Spawned an entire generation of corporate distrust, which, to be fair, was probably a good thing. Like, yeah. I like that acid rain is like, it's not a thing, but it's definitely less of a thing now. And I wonder if that's Captain Planet related. Okay, I'm gonna give this a whole bunch of like a band. Oh, I thought a warehouse was a house that was actually a creature. Yeah, mimic house. I thought when you started the conversation with trigger warning, I instantly thought you were talking about a mimic house. Because that's how you trigger. That's how you trigger a rook. Should talk about. I think it's just an ancient mimic, but there is a were dungeon. Like it's like a level 25 CR thing. Maybe that was a homebrew I saw. I'm not sure now. Mimic, enormous mimic. Yeah, okay. Okay, there's my Tonfa Hobgoblin. I'm going to end it there, even though this hand should be way over here like that. I got to get me some Tonfas. They look like fun. Tonk myself in the head. I could. Yeah, I could definitely make some. Okay. Kobold Paladin with a crown. Here we go. Should I do a short nose or a long nose? I haven't drawn a long nose kobold in a while. same smells as vanilla? Uh-oh. The Mimic house smells like vanilla, or your house smells like vanilla? Aware mountain. All right. See, this is why we're triggered now. Now I'm getting. Just don't have to remove it. When it smells the vanilla, makes a change from the smell of fiberglass. Ugh. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, what was that? That was a paladin, right? All right. Can I ask for a draw request here, or do I need it to be on the stream chat? Let's see, what time is it? I got another hour. Yeah, we can do one more. You can ask for it there if you want to. I don't know if that has to be a class. Yeah, if you want to be a coffee brewmaster, like anybody could be a coffee brewmaster. You could have a fighter, you could have a ranger, you could have a monk, you could have a coffee wizard. Yeah, probably. I mean, if you were the ranger, you'd probably know where the best beans were. If you were a monk, you'd probably grow the best beans. Druid might grow better beans, I don't know. Wizard probably know how to roast it better. I wouldn't say it's attached to a class. Coffee lock, yeah, pretty cool too. What is a Weemic? I think we've talked about this before, and I always forget. I don't remember what a Weemic barbarian would look like. Oh, I would have gone with the patron saint of Starbuck. Like, from, yeah. Battlestar Galactica. Bard wouldn't know how to make coffee or how to make it, but would sell a cup of mud. I mean, he was amazing. Why are all bards shady? Why can't a bard just be a good barista? Like, I think a barista would be pretty awesome. A barista bard. Is barista gender neutral? I don't know. Is barista is a barrister a different word? Okay. It's actually a job I've never had. A barista is an espresso machine. Coffee artist who has extreme knowledge. Oh, an espresso machine coffee artist. Okay, I read that as a barista is an espresso machine. And I'm like, what? Okay, cool. Yeah. I was a bartender for about a week at a tiny Italian restaurant because not that I didn't like it or it wasn't the job. I was basically covering for someone, and I was like, yeah, I can be a bartender. It was terrible. I did not like it. My point being, bartenders and baristas definitely have to have some bardic flair. So I'm totally on board for that. What was this supposed to be? I'm not going to make him super silly. I would not be good at that. Warforged. Oh, I thought you were going to say a Warforged barista that was the espresso machine. Water and beans. I feel like a druid would just keep making good berries and then try to call it coffee, and people would always be upset. Try some of this good berry tea. It's like, that's not what I asked for. I don't remember what kobold eyes look like, so I'm gonna go super derp. Veldon, we will find out. I don't know if I have any more room. I am drawing an ASMR scribe wizard. I might be able to blend that together and make it kind of an armored wizard. That would be pretty dope. I will write it down, but I might not have any more spaces. ASMR paladin. I basically have a hard cutoff today at 11:30, so we still have a little more than an hour. So I'll probably get to these, but I just want to let people know. If we make any more suggestions today, I might not be able to get to them. I should be able to get to the ones I have, though. Hopefully. I've drawn a lawful stupid kobold paladin, is what I've done. Ah! Yep, just little potato people. Talking about Tartarus. People know what a Tartaru is. What are the Tartarus called in Final Fantasy XIV? The Lalafell? Yeah, I think it's Lalafell.
Yeah, I don't know. Right. All right, I think that's good on that kobold. Have to go, no problem. We'll catch you later. Thanks for drawing today. Thanks for drawing today. Slime Ranger, here we go. Have you ever heard of a Kender? I have not. They're from the cream. Fearless halflings. All right. That's interesting. Oh, I see. As in conversation we were having. All right, Slime Ranger, huh? Do I do this? Is this how I start the Slime Ranger? Or do I make it a sexy Slime Ranger? Per my normal permutations and proclivities. It's just got an air. It's not a Slime Rancher. A blue. It just spits the arrows out. Oh, actually, that's a guy from Dark Souls. The slime that's covered in spears. I think it has shields too, doesn't it? Phalanx, is that what it's called? Just kind of gooed together. Jello cubes shooting arrows, yeah, pretty much. All right. I still live under the impression that the only way a slime can have human form is if they steal a skeleton. We spent millions of years having a skeleton that allows us to walk upright. I'm not just going to give every willy-nilly sack of goo the ability to stand upright. Yeah. I guess I could give it a helmet too. That would be interesting. Instead of a armor, I think works as a skeleton. I think that's fair. Could definitely have like an exoskeleton if you were a slime. I mean, basically all bugs are slimes with exoskeletons. Let's just be honest about it. Or sorry, human slimes. Humans can be slimes, I guess. Slimes with an interior skeleton. I mean, I was gonna say at the end of the day, we're kind of just meat, which is a very dark way to look at the world, but I would consider meat not a slime. It's also not candy though, so I don't know what one of the primal elements
meat is. Then again, I think there was a meat princess in Adventure Time. So Adventure Time has the elemental forces of fire, ice, candy, slime, and one more. There was one more. I can't remember what the last one was. Soylent, yep, Soylent Green. Spoiler alert, it's people. It was a weird movie. And I think it was even a weirder idea for the company that started making Soylent to do so. It's like, it's soy. It's like, are you serious? Like, it's just like a telecom company naming themselves Skynet. It's like, what are you doing? just like... blip, 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 blip. Blip, blip. Got a good gelatinous cube getting drawn up here on the top right. I like that. Wall of flesh with internal skeletons. I mean, that's a wall of zombies at that point. Bone wall, like if you can make a bone wall and a wall of flesh, I feel like you just have a wall of zombies. That's what D&D needs. D&D needs more combo spells. Like they have the setup, right? You cast Greased and then you spark it, and now you got a burning pit. I'd agree with that. Swarm's pretty great. Troops. I really like the troop mechanic. Troop mechanic's pretty fun. I always like the I attacked Lars and Kevin the Necromancer with a swarm of bees. And both of them just have giant, like, great swords. And so they were like, can we even attack a swarm of bees? I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, go ahead. I swing into it. It's like, a couple of the bees fly away. They seem less angry now. I was at a store. This is a really weird story. It's probably not a good story, but I'm going to tell it. It's an anecdote. So I was at this store, and I was waiting in line for the bathroom, because I was on a road trip. And this bee just, like, flies into the store, starts zipping around me. Might have been a wasp. Doesn't matter. And starts, like, flying into my face. And I just, like,
swat at it, and I hit my fingernail, which I remember hurting. And I was like, what the hell? Because like I hit just the right spot on the fingernail. But it like knocked the bee stupid. Like the bee bounced off the wall, hit the floor, and then just started like flying in drunk circles, and then just wobbled out of the store. And I was like, the hell was that? Like this bee just flew in here to piss me off, and got backhanded out of the store. I thought that was really funny. This is a weird bee interaction. Like, was he trying to save my life? Is that what was happening? He's like, warning, human. And then I was like, bah! Don't use the restroom here. Yeah, I felt really bad because I was just like, oh, geez, I didn't mean to slap the sense out of it. All right, ASMR wizard. I don't like hurting bees. Bees are pretty great. You mean like Mystery Men? I haven't seen that. Yeah, Baby Bowler was pretty good. Oh, the face in the cube. That's pretty funny. Who's drawing with me? Is that Anonymous? All right, welcome, Anonymous. Maybe gonna lose power. There's a huge storm outside. Yeah, that's no good. Be safe. Be safe, be good. That happened to us yesterday, or maybe it was the day before. I think it was the day before. We had a big old windstorm come through here, and we were on the computer. Jumper Rope and I each have our own computers, and we're sitting there next to each other, playing some Final Fantasy, and all of a sudden the power goes, boom, and then comes back on. My computer shuts off, but Jumper Rope stays on, and we're just like, how did you not even lose internet connection? Like, what the hell just happened? Why did my computer shut off? It was very strange. Wing. I'm a big fan of the Halo. All right, Wizard A. A Wizard A. Yeah, that could have been what it is. I could have, maybe I have more things plugged into my power strip, so it popped it. That would make sense. I definitely recommend having a battery backup for your computer. Helps prolong the life of the hardware. Greatly damage it. Yeah, that's true. I have had power backups in the past, especially when I was working in the office. But since I work from home now, I probably should get one. Maybe that'll be my Christmas present to myself. Dear Santa, please send me a USB power supply. USP? Universal Power Supply? I don't remember what the hell it's called. Uninterruptible, okay. UPS, there we go. That's right. This is a beefy wizard. What have I done?
I'm now forced with a life decision that defines me as a person. I could go to the restaurant where I believe I upset the cook and get seafood platter for dinner. Maybe eating the last meal of my life. That's fair. Yeah.
I have no advice because you and I have different opinions on restaurants. If I don't survive.
I hope you have one of those letters that, like, if you don't come back every 24 hours, it mails off some, like, the secret treasure map to your Goonies treasure. The Halloween Candyman fortune is up for grabs. It's nothing but, like, super king-size candy bars in a treasure chest buried in the middle of the ocean. Yeah. Candy corn, candy coins. Actually, do they come out on Halloween? Oh, no. Oh, no. If you've received this text, I've died from a terrible seafood accident. I blame the meatloaf chef. Find him and claim your rewards. I wish you the best of luck on your seafood endeavors. If you want to get on the good side of a well, maybe this is illegal. I don't know if I can say this. Hypothetically, a unique way to make chefs really like you is to sneak up to them after your meal and tip them.
So that the servers don't get their money. If you do that, the kitchen staff will take care of you like you have no idea. Chefs don't get part of the tip? No. Very, very few places do that. And even if you specify, that doesn't necessarily mean that the wait staff is going to do it. I would definitely... Oh yeah, Brian. No, tipping is just like weirdly broken system in restaurants. Says someone who basically makes all their money off tips, and has for most of their life. Yeah, no, seriously. If you wanna do that, just see if you're allowed to go to the kitchen. Like if you can, you don't want to go in the kitchen, right? If they have a back of house kitchen, that's no bueno. Find the floor manager, and hopefully see if they're trustworthy enough to give money to. Bye. Yeah. Most likely, Bri, yeah. I mean, I would ask. If it's something you're curious about, ask them, because they'll usually tell you, like, oh, do you guys tip share with the back of house? I'm learning things right now. Yeah, absolutely. The best way to do it is, A, see who's, like, ask who your chef is. Like, oh, who's cooking today? Like, build a rapport with the people who are cooking. Because I've worked at places where it's just, like, when I go in to eat there, I don't trust some of the guys. It's just like, oh, who's cooking today? Yeah? Okay, well, I'm not eating any of the steaks then, because they're going to cook them horribly. And I've also worked at places that I know certain people just cook things differently that I enjoy better. So I had different foods I would order depending on who the cook was. Secondly, you need to find out whether or not the front and back of house managers are trustworthy, because I've worked in places where they will pocket money themselves. They'll do tip share and they'll just keep the money, which is super illegal, but it happens all the time, and that's why there's laws about it. And I say that because of I've worked at like 8 or 9 different restaurants in my life, and 2 of them had people that were doing that and just keeping tip money. It's super bad. So yeah, super shitty. So find out if you trust them, and then talk to your back of house manager or the person who's cooking. Like, hey, if the cook has a second, come out here, and then talk to them about the food. Be like, I really like this, or I didn't like this so much, and then tip them specifically. There's no law against you tipping them that way. It's just, the wait staff, sometimes gets mad because they expect that they get all the money for them cooking you food, which makes me upset. So. Yes, that's true. Yeah, historically they do, which once again is one of the reasons I don't like the tipping system. I think the front of house staff should get paid an adequate wage for the work that they do, because it sucks. And the stupid thing is every owner I've talked to, except for a few, because I have a few that do tip share, and then those same ones actually stopped accepting tips. One of them stopped accepting tips, and started paying because they're like, for the amount of money that people tip the waiters, the restaurant could just increase the price of the food by that amount and then pay everybody a better wage instead of it being so lopsided. Because a lot of times, like, bartenders get paid immense amounts more money than the managers. And then there are people in the restaurant that are barely making a minimum wage. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, both of those people are working their asses off. Why is the bartender making so much money while this person is getting screwed? So... Yep. And so that's my tips. If you really enjoyed the food, talk to the kitchen staff. Mind you, don't do it like if it's in the middle of dinner. Like, either hang out until the dinner rush is over, or you see them kind of like wiping stuff down, then go talk to them. But if they're cooking something, stay the fuck away from the kitchen. Future plan: open a bar, pay a set scale. Oh yeah, absolutely. You'll struggle to find people that want to work there. And at the beginning, but the people that do want to work there will probably be very good, because a lot of bartenders, not bartenders, but a lot of waiters and bartenders are there because it is so lucrative, and it's a very weird pay system, because you go home every night with tons of money, and so yeah, but there's a lot of people that then when that money starts failing, they leave. it's just like yeah, it is what it is. So it's very, very competitive and kind of cutthroat. I don't really like it. But yeah, tip your kitchen, people. That's all I gotta say. Talk to the manager first. Say, hey, do you guys do a tip share here? No? Cool. Can I talk to your kitchen staff? Tip them. That's the best I can say. Does a bar server make like $20 an hour? A bar, no. Most places that I've worked, like here in Washington, I think bartenders and servers now have to make minimum wage. At least it's ramping up to that. I think they might have to make minimum wage it might have to make $7 something an hour too. I'm not sure. So, in Idaho, as a server or a bartender, you do not have to make minimum wage. When I was a server and the minimum wage was $5.15, I was making $3 an hour. So, and then usually with their tips, it should be minimum wage. But I think, yeah. So $20 an hour as a bartender, I would say probably. As a server, probably not. Some servers, yes. It really depends. So I stopped tipping at one restaurant because the owners started taking all the tips. Yeah, Zach, that definitely happens. that definitely happens. And that's why in Washington now, because the way it used to work is people would make you turn in your tips and then they would pay you out in on your paycheck, and that became illegal because so many corrupt managers were just pocketing the tip money. Yeah, and so for a while, I think there's some, I don't know if it's a law, but there's a thing that we were doing when I worked at this last Italian place was that I remember a bunch of the servers were mad because like the company was not allowed to hold their tips for more than 24 hours. So like they basically had to pay you out at the end of the night. And I don't know if that was a law or something they were trying to push to happen, because I know it wasn't happening and everyone was really upset about it. So that was a weird, interesting. Female Goliath Druid. It is 10:45. Let's keep going on these. Yeah, let's tip your kitchen staff. Yes, they do make more. They usually make at least minimum wage, but a lot of times they only make minimum wage. Unless they are there for a very long time or very, very good at their jobs. Something that used to drive me up the wall is like, especially when you do like to-go food, people would tip the host, which I've been a host, so I've been on both sides of this argument. Would tip the hosts for getting all their food together, when in most realities it's usually the back of the house or like a manager on duty getting all that stuff ready, and then the host literally just puts it in a bag and hands it to you, and it's like, why are they getting tipped for that? Stop this shit. Drives me up the wall. I do not like the tipping system. I mean, if you paid the housekeeper and the chauffeur and the landscaper, what could be left? Yeah, I guess cook. Florida $10 an hour. Hawaii is $10.10. Hawaii tip credit is a Hawaii commission amount of employees that are served. Must make at least $7 more than the applicable minimum wage. Idaho $7.25. Yeah, how do you live on that? Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. Usually, so that's kind of the thing with hustle culture, which this is a weird, I don't know if we should be talking about this, but when working in a restaurant, usually the thing is work more and harder. That's how you live off that. So 14-hour days. One of the last things that set me off when I was the last place I worked was, okay, when it gets really slow, just clock off and take a break until it gets busy again. It's like, I don't have time to do that. I got shit to do in the back. Like, I got to keep working. And they're like, well, yeah, but we need you to not be clocked on, so you're not making any money. It's like, but I'm still here. I still have to be here, but you're not going to pay me, so fuck off. That's pretty standard. It's pretty standard for waiters to clock off and just wait for people to show up to save the company money. It's not good. Yeah. They technically can't require you to do that, but like, yeah. If you have a shitty boss, they'll change the hours after you work. Yeah. Yep. I think I don't know. I want to say people should work in the, I think everybody should work in a restaurant or at some point in their lives. Like, the downside is, like, the downside to it, well, it can be a shitty experience, but like, I learned a lot. I learned a ton
working. Sangria Grill is an amazing place. If you're ever in Moscow, Idaho, go check that out. They run a really nice ship, or they did. They did, 10 years ago. I learned a ton. From them, and I enjoyed working there, but it wasn't the job I wanted at the time. Yeah, absolutely. So definitely check that out. But yeah, I think it's a good experience to learn like how that works. Unfortunately, most of the time when you work in the food industry, there's a lot of bad practices that just kind of, it's a pretty toxic environment at sometimes. But I think Sangria Grill did a pretty good job without being toxic, which is cool. They really cared about their employees, which you can do with tiny restaurants, which is great, versus like working for a McDonald's or something. Like it's totally different. Working in fast food is totally different. And honestly, I would say way tougher. It was supposed to be a druid, right? Yeah. Yeah, standby is no fun. New York minimum wage is 15, but cost of living is so high it makes no difference. Yeah, that's kind of the problem. The problem with the minimum wage is that the cost of living is so varied that it doesn't make sense to we shouldn't be talking about this. We should not be talking about this. I am so sorry to everybody who. I mean, I think this is, if people want to talk about it, they want to talk about it, right? But like, I don't know. Money's money. As someone who has lived off minimum wage and lived in a couple different states, it sucks everywhere, right? Like, it is what it is, and that's very much one of the reasons I want to be my own boss. Like that's the dream, and I hopefully can sustain it. Like that's the real goal. So far we are, which is good. Thanks to all of you wonderful people. And I appreciate it. Right. Let's see. What is Veldin asking here? I made an Asmar Paladin Divine Sorcerer concept, so I think the beef fits. Sorry, the beef fits. Beef fits. Hope to get a chance to play him someday. That would be pretty cool. If you have a Beastmaster, can you tame a monster? Yeah, I'd say so, Jack. I mean, really, I think the whole thing about Beastmasters, it's all up to your DM's approval. I've had people play characters where they get like giant tigers and dinosaurs and stuff, and really, it's just a matter of making sure it stays balanced. Because like some of the most frustrating things I've ever run into have been like paladins and their horses, because horses are terrifying in D&D specifically. If you get an armored warhorse at level 5, you kind of win the game. Nothing low level can stop your horse, and you get so much movement that you just wreck everything. So at the end of the day, yeah, it should be fine. The thing I do think a lot of people don't realize if you do want to go that route, is kind of making it make sense. So like, oh no, a manticore just jumped out and is gonna eat your face. I'm gonna use my animal handling skills to make it my best friend. It's like, first animal handling check succeeds. It looks at you like, okay, I'm not gonna eat you because you're not a threat to me. I'm gonna attack the barbarian who still has their sword out. Like, does that make sense? Like, you're not just walking up to a wild animal being like, it's okay, and the thing's like, oh, we're best friends now. Like, it's got to be a process. It's got to be a process to do that. Now, if you like get a cub or like you buy it from a weird animal vendor or something, that could be different. If you use the spell summon animal, I don't know. That's up to your DM, but I would not allow. I'm gonna summon a manticore. It's like, no, that's not how that works. Those have to be special. The Holy Avenger. That could be really fun. It's like a +3 weapon, right? When you hit a fiend or undead, yeah. So that's Holy is a really, really cool weapon buff. The Holy Avenger is a +3 holy weapon. And you can make that in Pathfinder pretty easily. They also have unholy weapons, which does the same thing, but to living creatures, which is really fun. That's super powerful. Mind you, I usually say that holy weapons and unholy weapons can't be wielded by the opposite. So if you're a living creature with an unholy weapon, it burns you. I will usually roll it with the alignment as well instead, though. So like with the unholy weapon, if you're an evil aligned character, that's fine. Because that seems perfect. It's just like, this thing's really good at slaying people. I like that. It's like, all right, well, you're an evil character. Cool. Why can't I draw hands today? Man, I've been drawing so many busts that I just like, I've forgotten how to draw hands. I'm gonna have to spend some time correcting that. Shillelagh. I honestly I wanna understand how Shillelagh works. Does it physically make the stick bigger? Is it a magical weapon? Like, I mean, like, legitimately, you're like, everybody summons the same magical Shillelagh with a stick as the focus, or does it just like harden the wood so you can whack people with it? Not to rain on your parade here, but you said hard cut at 11, right? I'm just letting you know that you're 1 minute on your mark and missed the time. I can stay till. I was gonna go till 11:30, but it is almost 11 o'clock. So thank you, Veldon, for reminding me. Where are we at? This was supposed to be a female Goliath druid. That's my bad. let's do some cosmetics here. Let's see if I can duplicate this layer. Let's do some cosmetic stuff here. I'm gonna change the hair. We're gonna add some hips. Change the bone structure a little bit. I got distracted. She's still going to be beefy as hell, so that's fine. We'll give her like a tube top here. Give her a bunch of hair. There we go. We saved it. What do we got left? We have the Weemic and the ASMR Paladin. I think we can do that in 2 minutes. I am a DM, but I don't know. I would do it if it was like below 5 HP. Then I'd allow it to be tamed. Yeah, but like, see, that's the weird thing about me. Sorry, not the weird thing about me. The weird thing about me is I don't like that. No, the weird thing about like animal handling, I feel like if you beat up an animal first, it's going to be less inclined to like you. Like Pokemon is really weird. Like you beat the crap out of a Pokemon, you shove it in a cage, and it's like, we're best friends now. It's like, what? Shouldn't that thing hate you? Yeah, I really think a lot of the pets and animal handling things should be based more around like animal husbandry. It's like raising something from an egg would be a good way to get a creature. But in the Pathfinder universe or the D&D universe, that's a lot of time, right? That it would take to do that. So if that's something you really want to do, I would highly suggest, using the mechanics of the game and then just altering it so you can have those kind of things. So like when you do summon an animal, if you want to summon a wyvern, maybe you have to have seen a wyvern first, fought a wyvern, defeated a wyvern, and then you allow that player to unlock the ability to summon that creature, right? Through some means of, like, you find a feather or something. Just so it feels more mechanic-based in the game and less about, like, trying to explain it rationally. Because you're using ranger magic to summon these creatures. And then when you do that, you just have to make sure that you're matching the hit point level of the creature. So if you can normally summon a level 3 boar, and you want to summon a level 3 wyvern, most of the time the wyverns of the book are going to be like level 8 or 9. So you just have to scale it down. I think that's a fair way to do it. Pokeballs use alter memory. Yeah, kind of. That's kind of what it feels like. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be it's one of those weird Pokemon is slavery things, which I really don't like. It's like, nope, let's not talk about that. When you hit a when you hit a Pokemon with a Pokeball, it dissolves them and they no longer exist, and then you have a digital copy of that creature. Oh yeah, no, yep, you kill them every single time. It's the same thing with Star Trek. I don't want. I had like an existential crisis. The transporters, yeah, because I was watching Lower Decks, right? It's the new cartoon, Star Trek cartoon. There we go, Druid. And I always have that transporter existentialism, because it's like, well, you dissolve, they rip all your atoms apart, and then they put the atoms together somewhere else. You become energy, and then you're back to normal. Are you the same person that left the transporter? Who knows? And then, if this is going to bother anybody, I highly suggest everybody leaving. But there's the episode in Next Generation when Riker gets split into 2 people. And so the real thought behind it is Riker gets picked up, Riker gets put down, but it breaks and also puts Riker back where he started from. Which one's the real Riker? Technically neither of them, but also both of them. I would argue the one that got put back is the real one. And that's the existential crisis, right? Like it's just, that's the same thing with Pokemon. Like you pick up your Pikachu into a Pokeball, it comes back out.
There was even a theory that that's why Ash never ages, because he got put in a Pokeball one time. he's now just a digital clone of himself. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Scotty. There was an episode, I don't know if it was Next Generation or... There was an episode where Scotty basically got trapped in the buffer. Yeah. Yep. Super good. Yeah, so that's the weird, like, God, we got some dark shit today. Sorry, everybody. Happy Halloween. I hope you're all in panic mode now, like I am. Yeah, so Shillelagh, that's what we were talking about. How did we get from Shillelagh to transporter logic? Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's kind of like it's more like spiritual weapon. No, okay, strengthening the weapon, imbuing it with power. That's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah, okay. So you are infusing it. You're infusing it with the ability of the Shillelagh. And the stick is just kind of the conduit. That makes sense to me.
Does not change shape. Have you ever seen the video game Soma? It's the whole logic of the plot. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think the better way to look at it is like the arcane magic weapon. You can turn any weapon into a magic weapon for a short amount of time. It's just kind of the druid version of that would make a lot more sense than it turning into like. So yeah, it might look a little different, but it is still just the stick at the end of the day. Until you drop it. They said badass, and I just made this the derpiest cat we make ever. I won't do this. I won't do this to this poor cat.
Yeah, it's 11:10 now.
Super derpy. We'll put the cat toy on the trident. He's got some feathers and a little mouse toy. I have such a weird problem with centaurs. No, not because not of which ways. Just like I think I'm much more I really like the satyr concept of like that's how I feel like centaurs would work. So if you just had horse legs, like fine, you would have horse legs, not horse legs and horse arms and people arms. Because then you should also have people legs on the back, and it's just like, no. Speaking of transporter accidents, it's like the Fly, but with a horse. Yep. See, human body with a horse head makes sense too. Like, if you're replacing straight up body parts with body parts, fine. But like, grafting a person on top of a horse is just silly. Yep. All right. Well, there's your dark Spooktober stuff, everybody. I hope everybody got creeped out a little bit talking about transporters and the tipping system in the United States. That's the real horror stories. Tipping. It's getting a little too close to 11:30 though, so I think I do have to call it there. The ASMR Paladin, could probably draw it on Friday. I think we'll have time on Friday. I hope you don't mind waiting a little bit. We'll just do an ASMR day on Friday if we have time. I'll probably try to. I won't have a video out this week because I just have too much stuff going on. And then next week might be a good video week, so we'll see what happens. Otherwise, centaurs have human feet but horse legs. The horror! The horror. Yeah. Do you think they would have mechanics is fair, so like a D4 damage per round? Jack, I would really, just as a final note on that, don't homebrew it. Just look up the stats for the like Find Familiar spell, because they exist. It already really exists, and it's already balanced pretty well. So if you look into Pathfinder and look at the summon animal or the animal companion, I think the animal companion stats would work really well. They get feats and things as you level up as well. All of that's worked into it. So look that up and just slap the monster stat or the monster you want on top of it for flavor. If they have a special ability, that's one of the feats they get. That's how I would do it. Yeah, thanks again, everybody, for hanging out today. Thanks for letting me yell about the restaurant world again. Having existential crises about Pokemon, like, that's good. That's a good way to end October, I think. Thanks for all the great suggestions. Thanks for drawing with me, those of you that did. It's a very cool mind flayer, by the way. I like that a lot. As for everyone else, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for talking. Thanks for sharing your insights and your D&D stories. Go watch those videos. Yeah, get out there. Like, comment, subscribe, share those videos. We need to get this channel up and moving. We're actually doing pretty good. We're slowly gaining viewers and subscribers, and that's great. So thank you all so much for all the help and just being awesome. So thanks again, everyone. Stay happy, stay healthy. I almost said keep your fish on the table. I don't know what that's about. Keep your dice on the table. And we'll see everybody later. Have a happy Halloween. And bye. Ooh.